Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kathy and welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed, please do. It's free. There's, some channels you pay for different levels of membership and all that. This is free. And yeah, that would be great. So I wanted to do a video on don't let Satan talk you out of it. And this popped into my head a little while ago. I was thinking about a friend of mine, and I'll tell you the backstory. So we are really good friends. We've been friends for decades and decades and decades, since before first grade and before kindergarten, preschool, pretty much around that time. And her mom told me that we used to be at the same babysitter. You know, we were, gosh, maybe 4 years old or something, or 5. And I wish her mom was still around so I could ask her more about that. But she did tell me that one time. And yes, so really close friend of mine. And so let's see, probably, let me think here. Let's say 10 years ago, and we were living overseas, and I was talking to, I can't remember how it all came about, if we were emailing back and forth. There's some apps that you can put on your phone to be able to talk to people or message them internationally for free. And so I don't know how it came about, but anyways, what ended up happening, she was telling me that Jesus spoke to her. And on a side note, I have a whole playlist about satanic attacks and spiritual warfare that I will put this video as part of, and I'll link that playlist down below in the description box and in the comments, just because it's so important. You know, Satan and his minions just attack us from all angles all the time. And I've done many videos on that. So yes, so this one is, yes, don't let Satan talk you out of it. So she told me during this phone call or whatever happened, I remember sitting in my car where we were living and talking on the phone. And so she was saying Jesus spoke to her. She was driving, I can't remember, with her husband or boyfriend or whatever, and maybe she saw a rainbow or beautiful clouds or just something caught her eye. And she never was a Christian or anything, according to her. She said that she's always been an atheist, and for whatever reason, and I don't have the whole exact story, I just remember what she told me was that I think she was getting upset just thinking about things that had happened in her life. And she has had a lot of really hard things, some bad things happen to her during her life. And so, you know, some regrets and some whatever, but I mean, we all do. So she was, I think, upset, maybe reminiscing about things. And Jesus told her, I've always been with you. And she was like, wait a minute. You know, she didn't, really believe in him or talk to him or pray or anything. So she said I think she was really crying, and just, a lot of emotions were coming out and thoughts and feelings and all that. And she was maybe thinking like, why weren't you there for me when this happened and when this happened and this bad thing and this? And he told her, I've always been with you. I was there, with this and that and this and that. I've always been there with you. And so she's telling me this. She's like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And she said it just blew her away. She was moved, just, in a good way. Just like, wow, oh my gosh, he has been there with me. He does love me. He's been there with me the whole time through all the bad things and the good. And yeah, so, and I'm condensing this a lot, but yeah, she was saying it just really, wow. She was like, oh my gosh, I believe now. And whatever she was saying, I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. Sorry, I just heard something outside. And so she was telling me, she's now a Christian and wants to learn more and study the Bible and all that. So I was mailing her some daily devotional booklets, from overseas. Like every month we would get one. So I'd send it to her. And that went on for a while. And so fast forward, and she, like a period of time went by, and we didn't really talk about anything. I just kept sending her things. Maybe I would touch base about something. Sometimes she'd reply, how her walk with Jesus was going, sometimes not. And, I just, I'm not going to push anything. And because I couldn't stand that when I was not a Christian and then when I was a new believer. So fast forward to now, like I said, that was probably 10 years ago. So about 6 months ago, I thought I'm going to ask her just kind of where she's at, because we haven't talked about anything in years. And she hasn't even hinted at anything like, oh, I've been praying or this and that. And so, and like I said, we're really close friends. I know she's not going to get offended or upset about anything. And she would, yeah, I could ask her anything in the whole world. And yeah, she'd tell me whatever. And so I asked her kind of where she was with Christianity and I kind of had a feeling that she might not be where she was when she initially told me that. And she said, I'm trying to remember the phrase she used, but she said she was confused and she misunderstood and she didn't really believe what she did back then when Jesus was speaking to her. I was like, oh gosh, because that's Satan, lying to her, going, whispering lies in her ear year after year after year, and just this and that and this and that. And yeah, and that does wear down people, and especially new believers. So she was saying, and I didn't push it a huge amount. She just said, yeah, I was confused. I misunderstood. I wasn't talking about, I didn't know what I was talking about. Things like that. I was just like, okay. And she said, yeah, I'm an atheist. I've always been an atheist and I will always be an atheist. I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, well, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to be praying for you all the time and have my prayer groups praying for you, because that's the best thing we can do. So if you know anyone in this situation that maybe came to Jesus or was looking into it and then decided against it or strayed away, whatever it was, pray for them. And yeah, have your prayer groups or friends, church, whatever, pray for them also, because that's the best thing we can do. So I didn't want to push her. I said a few things. I'd have to go back to our messages and see what I actually said, but something, like, well, if it means anything, Jesus still loves you and he's there for you. If you want to ever talk about anything, just let me know. And it was pretty much dropped from there. And like I said, that was about 6 months ago. And I was like, man, that is so depressing and sad that, Satan was whispering to her and talking her out of it. Just like, no, nope. you know, Jesus didn't say that. He didn't mean it. You're confused. You misheard. You misunderstood. So yeah, that's a real life situation that, yeah, has happened right in front of my face where, you know, one of your really close friends, you're so excited that they finally came to Jesus and they're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then fast forward, you know, they're just like, no, I didn't know what I was saying. I was confused, whatever. It's like, well, you're confused now because of Satan and his minions. And yeah, so that's the rough story, the gist of that. Yeah, so don't let Satan talk you out of something. If you feel like you're hearing from Jesus about something, a word or something, ask for confirmation and he will give you that. Ask him to show himself to you and he will show himself to you. And yeah, you have to be strong because Satan, his only goal is to keep you away from Jesus. And him and his minions, that's all they care about because they don't want, Satan and his minions don't want us, Christians, following Jesus and ending up in heaven for eternity. He wants people to be in hell with him. And sounds awful. It is awful. And, you know, people's souls are on the line, but that's all Satan cares about. That's why I have a whole playlist about satanic attacks and spiritual warfare because it's real. He's relentless. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. And, all right. Well, let me know what you guys think down below. And sorry, I really feel a sneeze coming on. See, that's Satan trying to stop the video, distract me, and have an interruption. Okay, now it's gone away. So, all right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Let me know if you've had anything like that happen, if you know anyone who's gone through that. Okay, God bless you all. I hope everyone's well, and I'll see you in the next video.